Volquest stock report on this bye week. Stock up for you this week, Brent Hubbs.
Yeah, stock up for me is going to be Cooper Mays. I mean, everybody said he would make a difference. We all believed he would make a difference. He certainly made a difference for that offense Saturday night. The pre-snap penalties were reduced significantly. Communication up front was good. They were obviously, from a physical standpoint, played really well, amassed a bunch of yards running the football, but they were just a lot cleaner and a lot more efficient. So, stock up for me is Cooper Mays, who was clearly not in shape and gutted it out. They had to have him as Tennessee had no depth on that offensive line Saturday night, and he was a huge part of why Tennessee walked away with a 41-20 win.
For me, I'm going to go stock up James Pierce. I mean, how do you not, right? I mean,
Right.
the true sophomore's got 5 sacks on the year. Could easily be more. He is so disruptive at the point of attack on the defensive line. He's hitting those tackles inside. He's hitting them outside, and they really have no answer. So, for me, it's stock up. Number 27, James Pierce. He has been an animal through the first 5 games. Stock down for me. I think it's going to be a short-term stock down. But last week I thought was a bad week for McCallan Castles. He struggled, and I think that again, new system, new atmosphere. He loves everything about it. Totally stock up kid, and I'm stock up overall McCallan Castles. But off of last week, I'm going stock down. He could easily be stock up coming out of Texas A&M in about 12 days or so. So I'm interested to kind of see where his game is mentally coming out of the bye week. I think that he'll still get plenty of opportunities, especially with Brew McCoy being out. Stock down for you.
Stock down for me is as well as Tennessee played in this game, it's still the chunk plays. They had the big catch to Squirrel White. They had a long run, obviously, but there's still in the vertical passing game. There's no real consistency with those chunk plays that we're used to seeing. And I know we're not going to get as many of them as Tennessee's had the last couple of years, but they've got to get some more of that. But more importantly for me, Austin, it's stock down defensively in chunk plays when you look at what they've given up. Tennessee gave up a 40-yard plus run against Austin Peay. They gave up a 60-yard run against Florida. They gave up a 75-yard run against South Carolina. That's 3 runs of 40 yards or more this season. Last year, for the entire year, they gave up 2 runs of 40 yards or more in 13 games. I think the loss of Keenan Pili is affecting Tennessee. They've had some misfits in the run. But they have got to get that cleaned up and stop giving up those chunk plays, particularly on the ground. Tennessee's been good in their run defense. They just have had that one major hiccup. It seems like most of the year. They've got to avoid those moving forward.
Stock stagnant for me. I'm going to go with those young wide receivers. We saw Caleb Webb a couple of weeks ago with a nice touchdown. Nimrod, I thought, had a nice slant catch on the final drive of the game after he had that bad drop early. But I just don't think enough, right? Like they've gotten some more run than I think people would have thought. But now they're going to get a ton of playing time with Brew McCoy being out. So I think stock stagnant, those young wide receivers, specifically Nimrod and Caleb Webb. How do they respond coming out of the bye week? Because they all of a sudden know, hey, we're going to be a big part or a bigger part of the offense going forward. Stock stagnant for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on it long because I think we're in the same spot. Mine's life without Brew McCoy, but McCoy's a big factor in the locker room. He's the consummate pro. He does all the little things for Tennessee. Where do they find that big body guy? Where do they find the guy who can box somebody out in the red zone, who can muscle somebody on the slant, high point the football, and who do they find who can block on the perimeter the way Brew McCoy could? What do they do to tweak not having Brew McCoy? I think that's fascinating that we just don't know the answer to that. It's the question all fans are asking. Who goes in there? What are they going to do? Are they moving this guy there? Are they doing this? They're doing that. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, which is why it's stock stagnant. But they're going to have to make some tweaks offensively here during this open date to adjust to not having Brew McCoy for the rest of the season, starting with Texas A&M coming to town next week.
He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price for the Volquest Stock Report on this bye week.